Come together making millions. Get the motor ready for the bike night race. Brag about my bike and put some dollars in your face.
Wow, that didn't play at all.
What up, everybody?
How's everybody doing? Welcome to the BEATcan podcast. I do not know what happened there, man. We having some tricky stuff with StreamYard today. What's up, Danny, Mike, and China Dow?
What's good, everybody?
Well, today we're going to be talking about something very interesting. Hopefully, it gets to people out there that YouTubers are not rich. We lost Mike Ball right there. Don't know what's going on with him, but man, Danny, did you like blow some smoke into the freaking StreamYard or something, man?
I mean, I might have. I'm not gonna lie, I might have.
You might have, huh? We lost Mike. Remember that 1980s commercial? Mikey likes it.
Mikey likes everything. Give it to Mike. Oh, wait, there he is.
There he is.
And
hey,
what
don't get all mad, man. For some reason, it was doubling up in my headphones, and then I realized it was in the background.
Yeah, you're just high, dummy. Anyway.
Thought I was the high one.
Oh, we're going to be talking about the life of a YouTuber and an influencer. It's not what you all think it really is, man. It ain't about us making tens of thousands of dollars each month or sitting there making clickbait titles as everybody accuses us of. It's far from that. We're going to kind of go in a background type of thing. I'm going to throw a wrench into the show right now. China Dow's actually going to go second today. She thinks she was going first. See, I got to keep her on her toes here.
What the hell?
Mike, you're going first, man. You're going first today. That way we get you on in case you go off air. But anyway.
Oh, wow. I love it. All right. No. Again, thank you guys so much for coming in and hanging out, guys. It's BV. Thank you guys for tuning in and chilling with the boys and ladies as well. Thank you so much. We're going to talk about the misconception of people that put in the amount of money that we do behind the scenes that nobody really knows about, and versus the amount of money that we actually make on the flip side. So we know, I think it's been known that we don't necessarily kill it as YouTubers. Maybe it's not common. I don't know. But it seems like that everyone thinks that influencers make a grip ton of money, or these YouTubers and podcasters make a grip ton of money. And that's not necessarily the case. I'm going to go ahead and go into a little bit of a background with me. I actually used to stream live every 8 hours that I was off of work. So I would stream every day, 8 hours, and I invested a whole stream house and did all this stuff and spent way too much money. We had a dance floor, 8 televisions, 5 different camera angles. It was insane.
Now you guys know why he got the freaking Goodwill freaking leg instead of a
yeah. So, but nonetheless, I spent a lot of money, and yes, I did see a little bit of return, and I'm not going to put that down, but it was nothing anywhere close to where I've spent to this day. You know, again, I may be somewhat known in the community, and I may be somewhat known on the platform or maybe Instagram or any other platform, but that doesn't mean that you're making like a killing off of this, because you're really not.
Right.
How much did you initially invest in that dance house?
All together, we're coming close to. It was close to $750,000.
You know what? You're now banned from smoking.
Hold on. Now, mind you, I was doing.
I don't even want him on the show no more. Kick him off, Hollywood.
Very, very, very close. It was the biggest investment, obviously, I had done in my life. You know, if you go and see the actual setup, it's crazy. It was my mind just, and it was my personal investment. It was what I wanted to do, and I thought it would be amazing, and it was amazing for the time that I used it, but I just couldn't keep up with it. It was a job.
Thanks for that, Chase. And are you on shrooms, Mike?
Man, ever since day one, I've been told I'm crazy, so it's okay.
$250,000. You're damn right.
Yeah, it is.
Hey,
What it
thank
is,
you,
though.
Chase. Much love and respect, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, so I want to hear from you. I know China Doll. I know that you have gone through this as well, and Danny and all of us here on this panel, especially, have gone through the amount of financial that we have invested. I know that you guys have invested a lot in the amount of stuff that you have for radio, the amplifiers, the boards, the lighting, stuff that people don't even know about. That, hey, look, this is all this stuff to make this stuff happen for you guys every single day. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of money too.
Well, you're looking at mine and China Doll setup. You're looking at an initial investment just to get on the radio, podcast and stuff like that. About 50 grand. That's what you're looking at. That's about what we got in, don't we?
Whew, wow.
Yeah, give or take $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's insane. That's
Mhm.
insane. And
that's
Danny,
that's not even including all the motovlog stuff that,
oh yeah, the
Honestly,
GoPros
I
and
can't
everything.
I can't talk too much about having too much money invested, only because I was really lucky that I'm friends with Hollywood. Hollywood really hooked me up. Like when he first started helping me get into the YouTube game and getting me involved in this stuff. Not only did he teach me a lot, but he invited me to the house, and him and China sat down, talked about old times, which was awesome. And he gave me a computer that I'm looking at right now. He gave me my microphone. I mean, pretty much everything you see, he gifted it to me, which was, man, it was awesome, but I have more time, I would say, invested than money, thankfully, as of right now. But I'm looking at investing somewhere between probably 2,000, 3,000, and more cameras, and like actual professional cameras, professional microphones, portable lighting, because of the new show that I'm planning on hoping to try to come out with this summer. Which is why, I always ask for donations, and I appreciate all of your donations, guys. Chase, once again, thank you, sir. I appreciate it all, man. I've been blessed. I truly have been.
Well, I tell you what, Don, it depends what you're going to get into. If you're going to get into the podcast or the radio side compared to the video side gets a lot more expensive, because you got to get out. Me, I'm just learning all this video, where you got full on production movies going on out there nowadays.
Yeah.
That's true. It's fact.
Hey, Mike,
Yes.
explain to us what red pill is, because you have a little cheerleader here, and I gotta know what a red pill is.
It's
Danny does
what
jealous. You don't got a pill.
I got plenty of pills, but none of them do any good.
has to do with the Matrix, breaking out of the Matrix.
Oh, okay, right on.
It has to do with the red pill, blue pill thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
And Mike's
Which
a
one are
blue
you gonna
pill.
take? He likes the blue pill. I know.
And I think
know what pill he
I think the reason why we're doing this is because a lot of people think that we get paid a lot of money on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's just not the case.
Unless you got like 10 million subscribers. Come on. Like, you're not really raking it in. Like, the sponsorships and all of that stuff, even at the small end, you're getting paid peanuts.
Yeah.
Well, you have to have a minimum, and there was a conference that I was showing China Doll, where all the big YouTubers would get together, and the big YouTubers are considered 800,000 and up. Yeah, they're making some kick-ass money. The YouTube ads, they're making anywhere between 20 and up 1,000 a month, but their real money comes from the brand deals.
Yeah.
That's right.
Where we're in a niche. If you were watching Insane Throttle, we don't take on sponsorships because we'll get fired in a heartbeat the way I am. So
Yeah,
it's not
try to do a 6-month program with you or something like that, and they're gonna be like instant, like, oh no, no way.
I think that's why Marco is so freaking worried about doing a show with me, because he works at a terrestrial radio station, a real radio station. And he's like, man, if my fucking bosses see us on with him.
Well, it could happen, but I mean, at the same time, what are they to do, or what are they to say about him, what he does in his personal life, and not what he does on air, right?
When you're a radio personality, what you do on your off time can affect your on air time as well.
Well, I think that goes for all creators across the board. That's not just that. I mean, it can create conflict of interest. Like, for instance, when I was on Twitch, I was not allowed to also stream to YouTube.
Mhm.
Like, I was only confined to Twitch with my agreement with them as a partner.
And Sunshine's right. We do it out of passion. My passion started where, and Danny, you know this because he's older than these other ones. No, except China Doll, she's older than all of us.
So just older than Baby Huey. Older than Baby Huey. We got it.
Yeah, you're a baby. You probably didn't even hear this stuff. The reason why I got into it was back in the 1990s, we didn't have all this information we have now. We had Biker Magazine, we had Easy Riders, Iron Horse. That was the only thing that gave us our information every month on what was going on in the scene nationwide. That was it.
Yeah.
And finally, in 1999, White Trash Network came out. Biker News Network came out and started doing kind of like what we're doing, is putting articles all in one place. That way everybody could see what was happening. And that turned into a passion. So Biker News goes all the way back to 1999, I think, with Biker News Network. And that was a passion that I had, and move forward. So yeah, you start getting up. If you ever look at my original podcast on video, I'm like, holy crap, man, was I freaking bad? But it works your way up. When you have a passion for this stuff, you start putting more and more money into it. And before long, it's like a monstrous pit.
That's true, but I also think a lot of creators also do not start creating because they're waiting to have the right setup, or to have the right camera, have the right microphone. I say your best microphone is the microphone you got. Same thing with the video camera.
Yeah.
Just start it. Just start rolling it. Just like Hollywood did it. You just got to start from the very beginning, and it may suck at first, and that's how, if you haven't been in this industry and then you haven't been doing this for a long time, you're going to suck at first. That's okay. Get used to it. Get
now,
on camera.
when I first started, and we're talking not that long ago, right, Hollywood? I mean, what are we talking, like about a year ago when I really started taking this serious?
Yeah.
I just had a phone that I would mount on like a ladder, and like I would zip tie my phone to a ladder, and then I would sit on a bar stool, and I had basically a picnic tablecloth behind me, and that was my background behind me, you know. And I would just sit there, and like one of my best videos that I did for the longest time was talking about support, you know, being a supporter, how to be a supporter. And that was literally done in the basement of my house with a drop cloth behind me. My phone's all zip tied, all to try to make it look somewhat cool, you know. And I'm sitting on a bar stool just trying to look as good as I could in front of the camera and talking about stuff. I had no idea what I was doing, you know. And then little by little, started getting more involved in it. And, you know, and I was trying to get Hollywood to like help me. But one thing people don't know about Hollywood is you got to show Hollywood that you're about it. Like, just because he's friends with you or bros with you, he's not going to give you a break. Like, I can tell you that firsthand experience. You know, he didn't give me one look. He kept telling me, put more content out, put more content out. That's all I would get from him, you know. And then finally I built my TikTok so big that he kind of had to at least look over my way, you know. And then he gave me that shot, you know, and The editing that I do in my videos now, I will openly say I've gotten most of that from Sos, from Demon's Row. He set the tone and set the pace on our niche. Like, this is what you need to do if you really want to, go somewhere with it, and so I started working on my editing skills and stuff. And I mean, yeah, I look at my old videos and I'm like, wow, I'm like, why did people even watch that video, and now I look at my videos now and I'm like, man, I hope I look back another year from now and look at my videos from yesterday like, wow, that was crap.
Well, that was one thing about Sos. He really set the example of what you had to do in order to make it on YouTube.
Yep.
He's seen the trends. He's seen how much time and effort you really had to put into a YouTube production, because that's what it is. It's a production video. And he set the tone where he got all the intros in, the mixes in, and creators, we learn from each other. Where everybody knows me, I've always been radio. I love radio. I'm really not into the video stuff. So he set the pace where Danny learned off of him. Mike might have learned off of him.
Absolutely, I did.
But it's the hard work, and Danny has put in a ton of that crap. The work is what's gonna get the bigger creators to notice you. Yeah. Because you're just not going to go out there and say, hey, go watch this guy, because you're going to blow up and the guy's not putting anything out and we look stupid.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest things. Yeah. But we all work on each other, and China's getting into it now with the Viper Pit. What are you learning from, say, Sos or Danny or Mike?
That my YouTube's never going to stack up to what like Sos ever has.
Never say never.
I mean, as of right now, I do all my stuff. Right now, I upload TikToks, and every now and again, I'll throw in an actual voice comment. And then, like right now, we're live on my YouTube channel, and I try to put as many lives from BEATcan. I put us up every week on there, and then during the week, I try and put some of ours on there. And it's like, I want to put a whole bunch of stuff on there, but it's like, it sounds good here, but it never sounds good here.
What suggestions would you have for her, Mike?
What I do is sometimes I'll even write down what I'm going to say. Like I'll write it out, and so that I'll have it next to the camera. And sometimes I'll even like read myself what I quoted myself on. You know what I mean? Like, because that's kind of like what I do is I'll sit there and read out my own quote, but it's most of the time I have it memorized, but I'll even have to do that sometimes. It just depends on what it is you have to do in order to keep yourself on target and whatever you're trying to talk about. And that's the beauty of editing. That you could do it all in one take and just clip out all the BS and then chop out the parts that you paused and all of that stuff, and it'll look great.
Well, yeah. For me, that's easier said than done. I have yet to figure out how to edit from my phone.
I started using KindMaster. I'm pretty happy with KindMaster. Also, Mike introduced me to Video Leap.
Yep.
And that one seemed it's not a bad editing app for sure for a phone, but for me, I think KindMaster is just so much more simpler. And if you pay a subscription, of course, then you get the watermark taken off and you get a little bit better music. That's the one thing that kind of sucks, is the music kind of sucks on KindMaster, but that's the app that I use. And believe it or not, you can use Mike's method. I mean, everybody's got their own method. For me, I'm so just like out of nowhere, I'll do a video. Like I'll be sitting in my backyard just thinking about things, and all of a sudden an idea will pop up. Like, I'm so sick of these guys doing this. You know what? I'm gonna talk about that. and I'll jump in my studio and in one take. I don't edit my videos when it comes to me talking. Like very seldomly. I can
No,
count
I'll
on one
see
hand.
you.
What's that?
I'll see you cut like only like 2 or 3 times within your video. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I mean, I try to keep it consistent. I can count on one hand how many times, less than one hand, how many times I've actually like took a piece out of my video. Normally, from beginning to end, it's just all one take. Which I mean, I don't expect people to be able to do that because sometimes I can't. But I'm easier like off the whim because that way there, I feel like I'm talking from my heart, from myself, writing things down on a piece of paper, doing that. Now you're trying to, I mean, if it works, hey, do it. You know what I'm saying? But for me personally, I look at it like, this ain't a movie script. This isn't fake. I'm not talking about anything that's BS. This is
Sure.
stuff that's straight from my heart, how I feel, and what's really going down on the street. So I guess maybe sometimes it's just easier for me. But find what works for you, China. That's all. It's not that difficult. You could do it. You do the morning show
I do the
and you
morning
do
show.
awesome.
I do the morning show, but it makes it so much easier because Hollywood's in here and I
That's
can
what it is.
the
That's what
going
it
back.
is.
And then I did for a while, did some shows by myself. And yeah,
Mhm.
after like 4, I'm just like, yeah, no.
Yeah, you're used to Hollywood
I'm
kind of
used to
like sending the questions to you and all of that stuff. And it does. He makes it. He's an awesome host. He makes it easy. Um, this yeah, it takes time. At first, I felt weird. I'm like, man, I'm sitting there talking to myself. You know what I mean? And like I'd be doing a video and somebody would walk up if I was outside or something, and I'd have to stop. Because I'm like, oh, I don't want to look like a weirdo with a phone in my hand. Now I'll talk
Yep.
to you while I'm in my video. I don't care. It takes time.
What we've been seeing is a lot of new people, especially in the biker niche, come into this. It
Yeah.
used to only be a couple of us, about 5 years ago. But Mike, I think a lot of them are coming in because they do think they're going to make a lot of money at this.
Hmm.
Yeah, I do think they think that. Here's the thing: if you're gonna make long form formatted video content, especially for YouTube, that's 10-minute or plus videos. If you're gonna do that, you have to somehow keep it engaging. You cannot have it where you like, oh, when you go to show a friend, oh, let me skip to the good part. No, the entire video has to be the good part. It can't be boring at the very beginning. It can't be boring in the end. It can't be boring in the middle. It has to be come in hot. Yeah, that's the way I would answer that.
Nitro. Well, wait a second, William. Then I'll get to you, Nitro. China, how's about having celebrity sweater puppies match up? He'd watch.
William's
And-
the best. Shout out to William.
gotta love it.
And Nitro, trying to reach out to other content creators don't work. Once they get big, then it's out of their realm to help smaller channels.
I will say 100% that Hollywood's not like that.
No,
Danny, what would you say to that?
I'm sorry, I missed a question. I was over here doing this. What?
Nitro, he stated that trying to reach out to other content creators don't work. Once they get big, then it's out of their realm to help smaller channels.
I would say, yeah and no. Hollywood's definitely not like that. But like I said before, with Hollywood, you have to show him that you're worth his time. I don't care like how good your content you think it is. He will tell you whether it's good or not. He'll tell you how you can improve it. And but you're going to show Hollywood that you're worth his time to put his name on that stamp. Yeah, I have seen other creators that are bigger for respect reasons. I won't say who, but I have seen other bigger creators that are definitely that way. They won't give you any time. They won't talk to you. They think they're better than you. And it's like, all right, cool, man. I mean, you've got people that look at it like, hey, listen, I started out on my own. Nobody helped me. Nobody did me any favors. And now I'm up here where I'm at. So, I mean, I kind of understand that, but there's nothing wrong with helping another creator, man. I've helped many on TikTok before I left. You know, I've helped a couple, I've given shout outs on here, you know, and stuff, but I'm kind of like Hollywood now. Like, if you ask me, even on TikTok, I was that way. You know, people would say, "Hey, man, you know, can you give me a shout out, bro? And you know, try to help me build my channel." I would go on their channel and look. You know, I'm going to watch all your videos, and I'm going to see if you're worth it, because I look at it like, hey, this guy might make 1 million following, and someday I'll be able to say, hey, I helped him. You know, and he'll appreciate that. So sometimes it's good to be humble, but sometimes it's not good to just give everything away too, in my opinion.
What do you think, Mike, about Sunshine China Doll? She wants to co-host the show with you.
I think that'd be awesome if they did.
There's a show on the Viper Pit, you and Sunshine.
There we
That'd
go.
be dope.
God only knows where that'll go.
But where I was raised and where Danny was raised, especially if you came from the neighborhoods, depending what precinct you were in and stuff, we always believed, Mike, if you helped other people make money, you were going to make that money with them.
Yep.
And a lot of people, Mike, don't think that way. Why is that?
You're right. And I have the same mentality as that. But a lot of people, I would say the newer generation of YouTubers or content creators, they definitely are not as willing. And those are the ones that usually, I'm going to say usually, made it overnight. Those are the ones that kind of flashbanged and all of a sudden they're popping and now they're up here. But how long do they stay up here for? You know, can you actually, you know, retain that amount of eyeballs on you? Can you?
Those are
that?
normally people who started out not from the bottom. They're already from a rich family or something. And, you know, mommy and daddy or their trust fund put in 50 to 100K for producers, and like Jake Paul, prime example. You know, that guy didn't build his channel up from zero to nothing. You know, that guy popped up and all of a sudden one day, boom, now he's a millionaire fighting in the ring. You know, so not everybody does that.
You got Nitro here. Most successful creators actually pay people, and they do. Yep. But going back to what Danny said about you have to prove yourself to a lot of, you got to do it with Danny, you got to do it with me, you got to do it with Mike. I'm doing it to my own woman, my old my wife here. If she don't show me something, I won't even help you, will I?
No. No, I'm gonna tell you, yesterday and the day before I was getting comments from Hollywood saying, are you gonna do anything on your channel, or am I just gonna stop advertising for you? And I'm like, oh shit.
Oh my God. He used to drive me crazy with that in the beginning. Every day he would text me like, so, you know, what video are you putting out today? You know, you working on a video today? You know, you doing this, you doing that. And I'm like, bro,
want it more than anyone
I'm on my
else.
motorcycle riding. I ain't got time for this. And he's like, well, you ain't going nowhere. I'll talk to you later. It's just like, wow.
You gotta want it more than anyone else, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The amount of hours.
I have to admit, before we get to the next segment with China Doll, that actually, you know what, my proudest moment, even though we had back and forth and we had issues, and you're going to have issues as creators, there's going to be drama, was I remember bringing Sosan when he was at 7,000 on the show and introducing him even more. And now look where he's at. And that, you know, now he's leading in our niche, and he's actually setting the tone for everybody. And it does make you happy when you see something like that, when somebody explodes and does better than you. And that's what it should be all about, is helping each other. But I know where you get these, you know, their nose ups and all that stuff. Especially, it's not like that on the podcast platforms because it's more audio and we get along better on the audio portion on Spotify and all that than it is on YouTube because you actually see it.
Now, we
Yeah.
did have a question earlier in the show. There was a question from, I believe it was Jason,
Mhm.
wondering whether or not one Sunday night we would have Sos on.
Well, that's up to Sos. I know he's busy. You got to remember, Sos probably puts in 12 to 14 hours a day. Like,
Kind of like you.
well,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's constantly on the ball doing his thing.
And that's another thing that people don't understand is I'm real active with the community as far as YouTube's concerned. Like Nitro, he has a channel, but I'm not able to be pulled 100 different ways to be able to give this advice or check that out
Right.
because I have to get ready for a radio show. God forbid, how long do we put in just to get our radio show every day going in China?
For our show? Oh my God. Well, it takes me 2 or 3 days to get all of my news stories together for at least 2 shows.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So it takes a lot of time.
And then the main topic, we go back and forth for a couple days. Hey, what the hell are we gonna do on Monday? What are we gonna do on Wednesday? Then when he'll
Well, like this show, we have a midweek pre-plan.
yeah,
Yep.
we meet together, all of us in here, either Wednesday or Thursday, depending on mine and Hollywood's schedule and the guy's schedule, to discuss, hey, what are we all talking about? What topic we coming up with? What are we doing? What are we doing? Who's
Yeah.
talking about what? So there's like a whole bunch of behind the scenes stuff that you go through, especially with 4 people on a show. You
Mhm.
know, it's 4 times more difficult than just me and Hollywood, or Danny by himself, or Mike by himself, or Hollywood by himself, because there's 4 different personalities. So you got to make sure whatever the person's doing is going to fit their personality, I guess you can say.
But
Well,
it's
that
got to
bring-
go along with everyone else's too. You know?
Yeah, you got to
Exactly.
gel well.
It's got to roll.
And I'm
Yep.
sure these guys are going to jump on the next subject. And when you say time, I think that's the reason why a lot of us get upset about it, because we do put so much time in it. So
Mhm.
what's your subject, China? You're
One,
chomping at the bit.
1 second. Sunshine goes in. You have a full-time job as well, China. Now, how do you
Yeah.
have time? I do have a full-time job, and I do the show. And believe it or not, at downtime at work, I'm looking up show topics.
Yeah.
Yep.
What I
Yep.
do. I also communicate through Instagram with these 2 during the week.
Nonstop.
Yep.
I find time. That's what I do. I find time. I make time. It's not easy, but I make the time.
Mhm.
It's because, you know, if you want to do something, just like Hollywood tells me, like with my channel, you want to do something bad enough, you have to just do it. So there will be stuff coming up this week on my channel.
I like that.
I figured I'd roll that into there. Plus, it meshes well with my topic today. Since we are talking about basically YouTube creators and also creators for other niche, like other things like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that, is when you put a show out there and somebody else, another creator, steals your show,
Mhm.
drives me insane. Like, I know Hollywood will post the night before what his morning show is going to be on. Then he will do his show, which is normally anywhere from 15, 20 minutes, sometimes a little bit more. And other creators watch his show and then steal it right out from under him.
Mhm.
It makes me nuts because of the fact they're not doing all the work. He's doing all the work for them. Then if if the creator that steals a show from another creator, they got less time to have to deal with anything because they had the show basically done for them. And then if it makes them good views, they keep rolling with the same story for a whole week. And that makes me nuts, because how many times are you going to talk about the same thing?
Well,
Yep.
you're talking as far as what's going on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yo.
We didn't hear that. I
Sorry,
mean,
my dog's crazy over here, man.
it just it makes me crazy because I hate that other people are riding off other people's coattails.
And that's something you're finding a lot now, aren't you, Danny?
You know, I'm seeing it a lot. As far as I know, and this is gonna sound so horrible too, but as far as I know, I don't think anybody's really taken my content and done it their own way. And the only reason why I say I don't think is because I honestly don't watch other creators much. You know, I watch the Madhouse every morning now. You know, I watch a couple of creators here and there. You know, sometimes when Sauce pops up and I'm just scrolling around out of boredom, you know, I'll watch one of his shows just to give my man an extra view. You know, that's just something I like to do. You know, and then plus see what kind of cool stuff he's doing to see if I'm smart enough to do it too. You know, as far as editing, you know. But yeah, I see it a lot, man. And that's why you'll notice if you've ever seen me do a show where my version of that show came from the original show, I'll be like, you know, Hollywood was talking about this yesterday, and I just kind of want to add my 2 cents to it, type of thing, you know. And I've talked with other creators too, and they said the same thing where, you know, hey man, at least throw that person's name in the video, so you're at least acknowledging, hey, this ain't my content. I'm just giving my version of this person's content, you know. And to me, that's just it should be a mutual respect thing. But now, like Hollywood mentioned earlier, we've got a lot of so-called creators that are trying to come into our niche because they think they're going to be rich and famous like we are, but we are not. And I'm showing proof in one of my last videos. Yeah, we ain't making that kind of money, man. And the other thing is they're coming over from TikTok because people are tired of getting banned on TikTok like I've been, and tired of all the BS on TikTok. So now that YouTube Shorts came out, they're starting to come over to YouTube because it's a proven fact. YouTube pays you fairly compared to TikTok or other platforms. They probably pay the best, you know, if you get up there. And so we're seeing an influx of a ton of people that are talking about things, and half of the things that these people are talking about, you know, you can tell that they're going off of one of us that have been doing this niche, because nobody knows these people, you know. Like, I mean, there was one creator, I won't say who, I made phone calls to the state that I found out he lived in, and I've talked to every club in that state, 1% and support clubs, and nobody even knew who this guy was. And I'm like, well, how are you talking about our world when you're clearly not in it? Like, if you were somebody would know you, you know? I mean, if you were in the scene like that. You know, I'm not even really in the scene no more, but I promise you, you can go to Lake County, Illinois, you can go to Wisconsin, you can go to Chicago clubs and go, hey man, who's this dude D-Lo? I promise you, you're going to run into somebody who actually knows me, you know, and has been around me, you know. So we're going to see a lot more of that too, I think.
Well, and the downfall is it's not even like even just Hollywood shows. I've noticed some other channels that have stolen from mine and his.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, I'm
I
sorry,
believe it.
you are so not me.
I believe it.
You're making an extremely ugly me, so you need to stop.
Yeah, right.
But it's like they take topics from like 2 months ago shows
Mhm.
and
You
try
know,
and
here's
it.
Well,
I'm
before
sorry.
we get any more thoughts on that, we'll go to Danny after we get back from this, and then Mike. But we are now being sponsored by the revived Revive Bud Light.
Bud Light presents Internet Heroes of Genius.
Internet heroes of genius.
Today, we salute you, person who accidentally went viral.
Person who accidentally went viral.
You showed the world how to dance like no one was watching, even though soon, literally everyone would be watching.
5.6 million likes.
One day, you were being interviewed by the local news. The next, millions put funny captions on your face.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Some famous people get recognized in public for their acting or singing. You for saying crazy well under anesthesia.
What the is happening?
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, notorious M.E.M.E., because you're the gift that just keeps on giving.
Person who accidentally went viral.
I do not accept that.
That is the definition of the Island Boys. Accidentally went viral.
The redneck version.
I instantly thought of the Island Boys as soon as I saw.
What I always tell people is never give Hollywood anything on you.
Oh
Okay,
my God.
it makes my job so much easier. But go back to Danny, and then we'll hit Mike. Go ahead, Danny.
I just feel like I need to tuck my shirt in or something.
I don't even know what to say right now.
Here we go. All right, let's go. Let's go.
I don't even. Hey. I don't even remember what I was going to talk about anymore. Oh yeah, haters. Okay.
Go ahead, Mike.
The only thing that I had to say was I haven't had many things copied from me because I've done more of the short form content than I have long term, I guess, or long platform content. But I literally had a whole quote that I've done mimicked and the exact same. He copied and pasted it the exact same way I did. This other creator that has like 400,000 followers, he ended up doing the same thing, and he's getting like all the credit for it. I'm like, oh yeah, too enthusiastic thumbs up on the good idea, dude. You wrote that, right? You know, it's like, man, all right, cool. You can go ahead and have it. You can have it, man. But that's all I had to say regarding that topic before Danny over here is googly-eyed. So you back on topic there, bud?
Yeah, I'm back on topic now. I'm good. Wow. Thanks, Hollywood. So
Right, that's on the Madhouse.
So what I was going to bring up as far as being a YouTube creator is something you need to understand is you're going to deal with haters and trolls. And it is one of the most annoying parts of this job is dealing with people like that, because you guys will see my replies to all of these goofballs that start talking this tough stuff, or half the time they don't watch the video, but then they want to put their 2 cents in. And it's like, if you watched the video, you probably wouldn't have had to say that, but okay. You know, I always tell everybody, you know, hey, listen, if you can't say that to that person's face, then either option A, don't say it at all, or option B, show me you can, you know, because I'm not a tough guy. I can get beat up just like anybody else, but it's irrelevant to me when you're going to talk that BS, you know what I mean? And I get them all the time. And it's funny. I just had one today, like literally just before we came on. And I won't say the guy's name, but the guy was talking, he commented on my how to pass a 1%er video. And I can't tell you how many people are on that video that it's a free country, I'll do what I want, blah, blah, blah. They don't understand that video is more directed towards a certain group of people. Like, it's not for everyone in the world, you know, it's not for, you know, it's not for your grandma in a pickup truck. All right. It's not for you as a civilian that's not around the MC world at all. Like, it's directed more towards a certain niche, I guess. And people don't get it. They get all hyped up about it right away, and they want to be tough guys. You know, well, you know, I got a gun too. And it's just like, yeah, well, you know, how good of a shot are you? Can you shoot 50 people at one time? Probably not. So shut up, stop it. You're not impressing any of us, you know. But this guy, he commented on there, and he's like, you know, I say all, and he came up with a great name, by the way. He came on and he's like, you know, I think all the veterans should, you know, get together and start up an MC called the American Battles, Veteran Battles or something like that. And I'm like, dude, that's an awesome name, by the way, you know. But he's talking crap, like, you know, I didn't fight for this country to have to you know, stand behind somebody or not go around them and all that. And I'm like, you know, if you actually watched this video, I'm like, maybe I'll do a reversion of that video and your honor, you know, because he was a veteran. And I'm like, thank you for your service, as I always do. And I'm like, maybe I'll put out a better version, better explaining it, that this is not for the whole world to follow. This is for MC protocol, stuff like that, you know. And if you're in the biker world, you know, and this guy just started going off. And then when I said that, and I'm like, thank you for your service. Awesome club name, by the way. He came back on and he's like, well, I'm not a biker. I don't ride. You know, I've never been around the MC world. I don't know nothing about it. And I'm like, stupid. If you know nothing about it, then why are you even here? Like, you know, if you're here to learn, then shut up and learn. Don't comment your BS, you know, and not even know what you're talking about. I'm like, if you watched the video and you actually asked a few questions, you would actually learn something and you wouldn't be so hyped up. But you just, you know, these people want to hype themselves up. So that's something you're going to deal with as a creator.
By the way, Danny, John just gave you a $5 super sticker. John LaBia, man.
What's up, John? My man. Thank you, sir.
That's my New Yorker, man. He has his own channel as,
yeah.
And he, you know,
seriousness and silliness, isn't that what he calls it?
Seriousness and silliness, man. He's he does a lot on the mob sector and all that good stuff.
He does an awesome podcast. I really liked being on his podcast. As a matter of fact, maybe one of these days I'll jump back on and do another show with him. It was cool.
John is the only one that I actually heard him say "How you doing" with the right accent.
With the New York accent.
Yeah, he's from there. Yeah, he's for real.
We had a lot of creators in here tonight, so we'll go a little overtime and stuff like that for you guys. But go ahead, Danny.
But yeah, so you know, you're gonna deal with a lot of haters, and at first you can ask Hollywood. At first, I would flip out. I'm like, where's this dude at? I'm coming. Like, let's get it in, punk. Let's go. You know, because that's just how I get down. But now, I sometimes they'll get my goat a little bit, you know, but for the most part, I just put on there, say it to my face. You know, if you see me on the street, walk up, tell me how tough you are. And let me tell you, I will be completely impressed. I really, truly will. Other than that, shut up. You're just a keyboard. You're just somebody using the advantage of being on the internet, you know? So there's a lot of that. You're going to get the haters. You're going to get the naysayers. One thing I'm going to point out real quick is you may even lose friends. That's something a lot of creators don't talk about. You may lose brothers. I know Hollywood can contest to what I'm about to say, that you may even lose guys that you once called brothers out of envy and jealousy, that they don't like that you're doing what you're doing. And they may be from a former club that you're in or was in. They might be in the club that you're in now. I know Sos probably had dealt with that too, being that he was in the club world. You're going to deal with that as well, especially in this niche. You know, people are going to get jealous. I've had personal friends of mine that I thought were my road dogs. They were my boys. They were my brothers. And then next thing you know, they're trash talking me like, oh, why are you doing that for, man? That's stupid. Well, you know, it's something that I love and it's my passion and I want to do it, you know. I mean, am I going to bash you because you're working at Walmart or, you know, a local car dealership? No, I don't give a crap what you're doing. Go do it. I'll support you, you know. But so be aware of that. You're gonna lose a lot of different people in your life, man. Trust and believe. You may even lose a girl.
I don't know, man. You know what, Mikey? I am a proud person.
We know that.
I'm a very proud guy, and I'm proud of my long list of haters.
You got
What
a
a-
long list.
I got a long list
I'd
of
say
haters.
out of everybody here, you have the longest list.
Man, I
Oh,
probably
no doubt about
Without
it.
a doubt.
Out
Without
of
a
everybody
doubt.
here, everybody
I'm-
watching.
No, I am not gonna even try to
No.
be in competition here. We know
I
the
actually
winner.
don't want to because I don't even know how to handle it. I don't know how he handles it, man. This man gets death threats every morning he wakes up to it. You know,
Ba-
you see how I react to a death threat, man. I got 15 people standing in front of my house wishing somebody would. You know, Hollywood, he looks at it, laughs, and goes, ha, ha, ha. And just goes back to doing his thing. And it's like, wow, dude, you've been doing this a long time.
Well, basically, what happens with me is being in the shock jock type of stuff. Haters, I love you. I love you sometimes more than regular subs because you give me so much material. It's funny. You do. You give me so much. Anytime somebody's hated on me as far as a creator, I'll always say it. I'll go to my analytics and say, okay, somebody's talking shit about me today. I will. But behind the scenes, a lot of people don't understand, especially in my niche. I know everybody. They know me. I'm out and about. Most of my fans are MC members and not just the regular members. We're talking all the way up to the top. And that's what a lot of people are who are not indie MCs don't get, you know, like independents and stuff. I talk to everybody and
Right.
they're the one, you know, because I'll be at the end of the year, I'm trying to transition out of it. They're the ones calling, what the hell, Hollywood? Come on, man. We've been watching you for 5 years to get our no.
Right.
But it's like, you know, you got to do what you got to do. But Mike, how do you deal with haters? I love them.
I don't necessarily know if I love them or not, but what I will say is the average hater will watch you longer than the average person that is your fan.
This is true.
They will watch you longer and more consistently if they're a hater. So, but here's the one thing with the comments, never take anything personal from anyone that you're not personal with. End of story. Like that's the way I take it. If you're not telling it to my face, then it doesn't mean anything. Like that's the beauty behind the internet for these trolls is that they have been able to say these things that they've always wanted to say to people, but have never been able to because they get their mouth smacked. You know what I mean? There's actual real world consequences for your actions.
Yeah.
And that's what people forget on these platforms. And it's like, oh, you think you can get away with just saying anything. So you think you're bulletproof. You think you're invincible. No one's untouchable. You know, that's why I show respect everywhere, whether it be on the internet, it be in person, no matter where I'm at, I'm going to try to show respect where I'm at.
Wow.
You know, it's where I'm hanging out. It's where I reside in my area. Why wouldn't I be nice to the people around me? It's very easy to be nice, but with the hater stuff, just don't take anything personal from those people, man. Like why would I take anything personal from someone that's got like a SpongeBob profile picture and 8 followers? Why would I care about what that dude got to say? I don't care.
Well, you know what? You're right, Sunshine. I do wake up, and if I don't have any death threats or haters, I say to myself, man, that show sucked then. I do. You should see the liberal lefty. They're all over me on the podcast platforms. They hate me. I'm surprised I ain't being picketed right now. But China Doll, I've been trying to teach her how to deal with haters. She gets emotional with them.
Well, you know, okay, now Danny and Mike can actually attest to my last Sunday I had a hater. That they actually took everything I said in the show out of complete context and screwed it all to hell. Yeah. And half the stuff I didn't even say, but I seen it because we talk on Instagram and we were talking and I'm like, fucker ain't even worth my time.
Right.
Yeah, but at the same time, I've had to hear it for a week.
But a couple years ago, I would have been like, "Did you see what this guy put about me? Oh my god!" I would be like,
well, when I saw that comment and I replied to it, I'm like, I gotta show you that. I'm like, what the, come on, man, go ball.
It is what it is.
I mean, I saw it and it was really out of context, but
yeah.
I was just like, okay. And I'm like, I ain't even gonna fret over it. Have I brought it up a lot to Hollywood? Yeah. I'm like, hey, I got a hate. I got a hate.
And that's
You're doing it right.
and that's one thing as you grow, if you're gonna do this, is the more you grow, the more hate you're gonna get. I can just imagine how much Sos is getting right now, man. We should have hater story hour.
I'm telling
We
you,
should.
who can come up with
We
the best?
should.
No, that was the biggest.
Speaking of hater story, one day I was on my bike and I pulled up to Woodstock Harley in Woodstock, Illinois, and I'm backing up, and I get off my bike and there's like 4 or 5 guys and like 4 or 5 couples, guys and their wives, and they're sitting by the door, and I hear one of them say Danny D-Lo, and I'm like, all right, whatever. Well, all of a sudden, some guy comes barreling out of the doors. And I mean, he's power walking towards me, and he gets right up right like somewhat close to me, because I don't allow people, with certain vibes to get too close to me, especially you power walking at me looking mean. Like, I'm probably going to take a swat at you way before you get to 6 foot, and he's running up to me and he's like, "We're not on the internet now, tough guy." And I'll fast forward through the rest of that to say that he he quickly realized, you're absolutely right. We are not on the internet. And these people were like, "Oh my God, I can't." They're like, "Dude," they're like, "We didn't know it was you when you pulled up until he was inside talking to a salesman." And he goes, "That's that SOB Danny D-Lo. I'm going to have a word with him." And he goes, "We came out here to watch, because we just knew this probably isn't going to go well for one of them at least, and I'm like, I don't get it, man." And the guy just got up. He walked sideways to his truck. It wasn't even on a bike, to his truck, got in his truck and left. Didn't say another word after that. And I'm just like, man, this is what I have to deal with being a content creator, being an influencer, is people running up like that. Like, I've had people walk up to me and, want to take a picture, stuff like that. And that's still weird, extremely weird to me. I'm not used to that, because I'm really not used to people just walking up to me. China and Hollywood know me personally, and they can contest that I'm not a very approachable looking person. I'm a nice guy, don't get me wrong, but I don't look like I'm all that.
And you always smell good.
I do. I love smelling good. Yeah. I'm a cologne connoisseur. Yeah. If anybody wants to send me some really nice colognes, I'll always take those, by the way. But yeah, it's the things you have to deal with when you're doing this, man. That little wannabe fame, I guess you could call it. I don't even know what to call it, but that's the weird part too. Somebody walking up to you and say, "Dude, can I?" Like, I was at Walmart one day and I'm in the lotion aisle, of all aisles. I'm in the lotion aisle, and I hear
Johnson.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got a big bottle of lotion in my hand, looking like, "Ooh, you're gonna get it later, Mister." And this guy, I hear a snap, and I'm like, I turn around and look, and it's this young 19-year-old kid like taking a picture of me. So I walk around the corner. Yeah, I walk around the corner. I'm like, "Hey, come here, man." I'm like, "Let me see your phone. What are you taking pictures for?" And he's like, "Dude, I watch you on TikTok, man. I just wanted to take a picture of you." And I'm like, "Listen, bro, if you're going to take a picture of me, can we go to like the gun aisle or something and take a cool picture?" Like, don't be taking pictures of me with some lotion in my hand, man. I'm like, "Come on, dude."
Don't do me like this.
Yeah, don't do me like that, bro. Come on, man. He's like, "I just can't believe you're at Walmart." And I'm like, "Dude, I go to the store like everybody else."
All right, whoever took that picture, please send it to Hollywood and I.
Yeah, Hollywood would love that picture. Thank you.
Nah, see, I made him delete it in front of me. That's how smart I am. Hollywood has taught me a lot in this game, remember?
What about you, Mike? What were you gonna say?
What was I going to say? Shoot.
You don't know.
I don't know,
I mean,
man. It was regarding Danny's other point that you're gonna lose a lot of brothers and maybe sisters, family members that people don't really talk about as content creators either. That was my biggest loss. It didn't come from like outside people, like outside hate or anything weird like that. what happened is I was surrounded with a group of people, let's just say, that they thought when I started getting the spotlight that I was taking away their spotlight. But realistically, they never had the spotlight on them in the first place. I just happened to do what I did on the internet, and that was my doing. But then there comes jealousy, and that's an insecurity within themselves because maybe they're not good at creating themselves. Maybe they're not good. Maybe they're not good at editing. Maybe they have a insecurity within themselves. I don't know what it is. It's a problem within themselves, though. That's what a hater is somebody that has an issue. Like, I have never seen a bigger content creator hate on me. Same thing with probably all the rest of us. You know, getting a bigger content creator to like actually sit there and bag on you for no reason, you know, not like back and forth YouTube stuff. I'm talking about like, you know, like all of a sudden that guy is doing that. He's hating on you for some odd reason. No, you never see a big YouTuber messaging you saying you're worthless. You know what I mean? You don't see that.
Well,
yeah,
you know,
take it personally.
good one right there, Mike. This is an interesting question for us all. How do you guys deal with what comes as far as notoriety within a niche?
Hollywood.
China Doll, you first.
Me? I don't get notoriety. I don't get nothing. It's
Oh
just
yeah, you complain about that all the time.
hanging out. No, the hardest thing is like I can't go anywhere with Hollywood. I can't. Everywhere we go, whether it's Woodstock Harley, Kegel Harley, any bike rally, if I'm by myself, I get asked if Hollywood is here.
Hey, nice to see you. But is Hollywood here?
Is Hollywood around?
Hey, Hollywood sidekick.
Yeah, hey there. Hey, where's the man at?
And then like even walking out our front door, because we've got an American Legion across the street, and he'll get approached by the guy sitting outside the Legion, and we're talking gray beards and everything else, and he gets fangirled everywhere we go, and it's like, oh great, who's taking the picture? Me, I guess. Give me the phone, because I know
I better never get that. I swear to God, I'm telling everybody watching right now. You see me out and about and walk up to me and go, "Hey, where's Hollywood?" I'm gonna sock you right in the eye.
I mean, literally. We went to Tomahawk last year, and we're going again this year. But we went last year, and I was downtown with the girls, and the guys were all doing their thing, and I got approached. I'm wearing my Viper shirt, says China Doll on the back. No. I got approached by like a handful of people. Is Hollywood with you? And it's like, no. And they're like, damn. I'm like, oh, hey, okay, whatever. I got fangirled twice, and it was both at my job.
Nice.
Twice. Do you have that? Are you on that YouTube thing with Hollywood? That's what I got. Are you on that?
Actually,
YouTube
you know what? I have had that happen to me. Now that I think about it, I was at a party. I was at a party for a brother of mine that's in a club, and another club pulled up. And the P jumped off his bike, came right at me, and he's like, "Hey, bro, you mess with Hollywood, right?" And I'm like, "Oh boy, here we go. This could go either way, you know." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And he's like, "Hey, let me holler at you real quick." And we had a combo on the side. I'm like, "What's up?" I was like, "Okay." Wasn't like, "Hey, you're Danny D'Lo, right?" It was like, "Hey, man, you mess with Hollywood and them, right?" Well, okay. Yeah, I'm the little kid on Hollywood show. I'm like, yeah. That was BS.
Well, I came and replaced you, so it's okay.
Yeah.
How do you deal with it, Mike?
In person, it's on the motorcycle set. That's where I'll get seen, and obviously that's where I might be known better for. But the motorcycle set, I love talking to everybody. Anyways, I'm a personable person. But outside of the motorcycle set I get approached even that much more. When I'm anywhere, it could be just a Target. I'll get approached by quite a few people just because of my amputated leg. You know what I mean? That alone right there is like the biggest conversation starter in the world. Like above everything else, of course, you know, I mean, I wear shorts every day, so it's going to be very obvious.
Right.
But, and especially when I come pulling up on a motorcycle, people are like, what in the hell, dude? Like, this guy is insane. And then they're like, how did you lose your leg? On a motorcycle. Oh, so you're still riding a motorcycle? Yeah. Okay.
Right.
I know when I meet you for the first time in person, I'm stealing your leg and running.
Hey,
Catch me, little boy.
It's got two ways it locks. Okay, it's got two ways. You think I haven't had my woman try to run off with it? I'm prepared. I can out hop people that got two legs that they're running. I promise you, I'm good.
I want to see.
I've got experience.
I got experience in this.
By the way, myself, Marco, and I'm hoping to get Danny D'Lo out there to the Midwest Chopper Fest. You guys can come see us. Hopefully, Danny will come do a live show with us. But how do you do with the fangirls, Danny?
I honestly don't get a lot of it, you know. I get it like, you know, at a Harley dealership or something like that. You know, people walk up, be like, "Oh, hey, you're Danny D'Lo," and it's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And I'm usually pretty simple with it, man. I just walk up, "Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for watching," and I keep it moving. You know, I'm not gonna stand around and hang out for a half hour unless they start talking to me. Then of course I will. You know, I haven't really experienced a lot of it. I get a lot of it in the club scene, but you guys know, like, you know, in the club scene, you know, they're not fangirling really. You know, they're walking up like, it's funny. Like they'll walk up to me like privately and be like, "Hey, bro, I saw you on YouTube, man. It was really cool. Hey, bro, I saw you on TikTok, man. I watch your stuff. It was really cool."
Topic.
Like, yeah, like they're all secretive about it. Like the whole, and I'm like, why are we whispering? Everybody here watches me, you know. But yeah, I get a lot of that, you know. And if I'm at a bar, every now and then, you know, I could usually tell who the MC guy is off the bat, no matter what. But if I don't recognize who it is, usually by the end of the night, he's sending me a drink and, you know, making conversation like, "Yeah, man, I check you out on YouTube or, you know, or other platforms, stuff like that, you know," which is cool. But like I said, man, I mean, other than that one time at Woodstock Harley, I've never had a bad encounter. Like everybody's usually always really nice, really cool. They're not over the top with the fangirl thing, you know. Usually, you know, they may want to take a selfie or something, and I'm always more than happy to take a picture with somebody, say what's up, talk, be personable, you know. But so far, it's been pretty good, you know.
I think
sure
the guys and the MCs are a lot better. I think
probably
because they're real more down to earth and all that good stuff, and they're real.
Well, you got to remember too, they already know us. They know us from the MC scene. They know we've been around. They've seen us around before we did the YouTube thing. So I'm more comfortable around the clubs when I go out because they do know and stuff like that. Sunshine, yes, we're trying to get Danny, and I'll talk to him during the week to get him to Chopper Fest. We got a lot of Wisconsin in here right now.
Chopper Fest is in July, and it happens to fall on our wedding anniversary.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's going to Chopper. He's going to Chopper Fest to go live.
Well, you guys won't know if I'm coming to Chopper Fest until you see me pull up. That's how I am, guys. I don't let nobody know where I'm gonna be ever.
You're just gonna come meet us at our house and ride up with us. Shut up.
I mean, it's possible. It is possible.
It's possible.
Consider that my anniversary gift from you.
So,
you had to go there for real. You had to go there. Wow.
I went there.
Chopper Fest is in Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin. Geo. It's gonna be a damn good party weekend, man. It's old school fun, man. It's none of this corporate crap. It is hardcore old school party. There'll be strippers and everything else there.
Yeah, those boys know how to throw a good party.
That they do. Anyway, let's go around the table. Give advice before we close up. If you're going to be a creator on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, what's advice you would give somebody, China?
My advice is don't take haters to heart and do your own stuff. Don't copycat unless you do like Danny says and give a shout out to the original creator.
Danny.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna say if you are looking to get into any niche, first of all, spend some time on finding your niche. Talk about stuff that you love, that you're passionate about, that means something to you, and most importantly, talk about something you've actually experienced. Don't see, oh well, I started riding my Dyna 2 years ago. So I'm gonna start talking about the biker culture. You are still, you're not even a biker yet. You're just some dude that bought a Harley. You don't have the experience to talk about it. So that's my advice. Be passionate about it. Know your niche and do this because you really enjoy doing it and because you love it. Don't come into it like, well, I'll use Source to Ghost for a reference because he's the biggest one in our niche. Well, I saw Source to Ghost and he's got a million people watching him. So I'm going to do the same thing, forgetting that there's hours and hours and hours of editing, research, not to mention he's been in the motorcycle club world. He's not just talking a bunch of BS. He's been around it on the East Coast. Like, make sure you know what you're talking about. That's my biggest advice. And just be yourself.
You can watch Danny D-Lo on YouTube. He throws out shorts. How many times a week you posting now?
I hate it when he puts me on a spot like that, man. I can't stand it. That's his way of pushing you to do more shorts. I know his BS tricks, China. I put out shorts when I put them out, man. I have no set time. I have no set time on my videos, and it's Danny D-Lo Biker TV, sir.
There you go.
Yeah, get
Danny
it right.
D-Lo Biker
Get
TV.
it right.
He also has merch that you can buy.
Oh, I want a
For
free
sure.
shirt.
There you go. What
I'll
about
definitely
you?
have one for you, China.
What about you, Mike?
With me, like I said earlier in the show, definitely don't wait until you get the right equipment that you think that you need to have. Just turn it on and go for it if you're going to do it, and make sure, like Danny said, know what the hell you're talking about if you're going to talk about it. Also, like how China said as well, don't take anything of these haters to heart. You're going to get them. It's part of the game. And when it comes to content creating, be consistent. If you're going to post only once a week, post only once a week. Don't once a week it, and then the next month, all of a sudden you're doing 3 times a day. It doesn't make, all of that confuses your audience. You need to make sure that your core audience will know what time, where to see you, where to expect you. That is how you build a core audience.
Always promote yourself on your community tab as well.
Yep.
Exactly.
And don't do what I did. Take 3 months off and just, disappear.
My biggest advice is what Danny said is be you. Don't try to be somebody else on YouTube or being a creator. Basically, what that's going to do is call you out to the rest of the world that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Don't try to be funny if you're not funny, especially if you get into the shock jock realm, because I've been seeing a lot of people trying to pick up on that. The shock jock realm is a lot different than the regular type of niche, because the haters are going to come at you from all sides. But don't give up. Keep going. You got to keep posting. And if you want any of the bigger creators to take you serious, to help you out, then that's the first thing we look for, is to see if you're doing it the right way. But anyway, the BEATcan podcast over on the BEATcan YouTube channel. We got Danny D-Lo's China's Viper Pit, as well as Mike Ball's Twitch and Facebook. We're trying to get them, but I don't know what happened today with that. But we'll see tomorrow morning on the Madhouse, and everybody else will see you. You guys are rocking and rolling, baby.
Hey,
Later,
Danny,
guys. Peace. What?
you gotta say it. You gotta say it.
All right. And as always, keep it real and keep it 100. Holla at y'all, man. Peace.
Right.
Join us for the BEATcan podcast live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. No subject is off limits, and get knowledge you can't get from college.